Welcome back to the channel USA Coins 69, where we uncover the hidden gems and rare treasures of the numismatic world. Today, we are diving deep into the story of a coin that might be sitting in your pocket change right now, yet it holds the potential to be worth an extraordinary fortune. We're talking about the United States Jefferson nickel from 1987, a seemingly ordinary 5-cent piece with a story and value that will surprise even seasoned collectors. You might have passed this coin 100 times without a second thought, but by the end of this video, you'll understand why this tiny coin could be one of the most valuable pieces in your collection. The Jefferson nickel has a long and rich history in the United States, dating back to 1938. This coin was introduced as a replacement for the Buffalo nickel, featuring the third U.S. President, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse, and the iconic Monticello, Jefferson's home, on the reverse. The design was created by the renowned sculptor Felix Schlag, and it has become one of the most recognizable designs in American coinage history. Over the decades, countless Jefferson nickels have circulated, but certain years and minting variations have turned ordinary nickels into highly sought-after collector's items. The 1987 Jefferson nickel might seem like just another modern coin at first glance. After all, millions were minted, and it was widely used in everyday transactions across the United States. However, what makes this particular coin fascinating is not only its design but also the possibility of it having unique minting errors or being in flawless uncirculated condition. Even within modern coins, collectors have discovered rare pieces that command incredible prices, proving that you never know when a common coin could be worth a fortune. Let's take a closer look at the design and symbolism of this coin. On the obverse, we see Thomas Jefferson, the author of the Declaration of Independence and one of America's founding fathers. His portrait on the nickel represents more than just historical significance, it reflects the enduring values of freedom, leadership, and vision that Jefferson embodied. The intricate details of his profile, from the careful rendering of his hair to the contours of his face, are a testament to the artistry and precision that went into every Jefferson nickel. The year 1987 is clearly marked beneath the portrait, a detail that collectors pay close attention to, especially when identifying rare varieties or minting errors. Flipping the coin over, we encounter Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, which has become an iconic symbol on the nickel. The design captures the elegance of the neoclassical architecture, highlighting the symmetrical columns and distinctive dome of Monticello. This reverse design is not just a decorative element, it connects the coin to American history, grounding it in the life and legacy of one of the nation's most influential figures. For collectors, the preservation of these intricate details can dramatically impact a coin's value, especially when it remains in near-perfect condition without wear, scratches, or circulation marks. Now, what really makes the 1987 Jefferson nickel extraordinary is the rarity and collector appeal of certain variations. Coins from this year can have subtle differences or errors that make them extremely valuable. These could include double dies, off-center strikes, or other minting anomalies that occur during the production process. While most nickels from 1987 are common and hold only face value, those with such errors are considered numismatic treasures. Collectors actively search for these rare variations because they are essentially one-of-a-kind pieces that stand out from millions of standard coins. The condition of the coin is another crucial factor in determining its value. A coin that has been carefully preserved in uncirculated condition, without any signs of wear or damage, can be exponentially more valuable than one that has passed through the hands of countless users over the years. Even minor imperfections, like small scratches or discoloration, can affect the market price. For this reason, coins stored in protective holders or kept in pristine collections are highly sought after, and their value can skyrocket when discovered by the right buyer or auction house. Many collectors often overlook coins from the 1980s, assuming that only older coins from the early 20th century or the 1800s hold significant value. However, modern coins, especially those with unique characteristics, have proven time and again that rarity and condition can outweigh age. The 1987 Jefferson nickel is a perfect example. It looks ordinary, it feels ordinary, but its potential to become a collector's gem is extraordinary. This is the thrill of numismatics, finding incredible value in the most unsuspecting places. It's also important to note that the coin's market value is not static. Auction results, collector demand, and the discovery of new rare specimens all influence pricing. Over the past several years, the demand for modern-era coins and high-grade nickels has increased significantly, pushing prices to unprecedented levels. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that are well-preserved or feature unusual characteristics, knowing that these coins are not only valuable now but may appreciate further over time. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the moment that turns a simple 5-cent piece into a potential treasure. If you happen to own a 1987 Jefferson nickel in perfect, uncirculated condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a value of $35,900. That's right, $35,900 for a single nickel that many people might consider ordinary change. Imagine finding one of these in a jar of coins at home, or tucked away in an old collection, and realizing that you've been holding a fortune in your hands all along. So, if you have old nickels from 1987, don't take them for granted. Examine them carefully, look for variations, check for pristine condition, and consider their potential value. You might be sitting on a hidden treasure that could transform your collection, or even your life. Coin collecting isn't just about history and art, it's about discovery, excitement, and sometimes, astonishing financial rewards. Today, we're about to dive into a story that might just change the way you look at the coins jingling in your pocket. We're talking about the United States Jefferson nickel from 1979, a 5-cent coin that, at first glance, might seem ordinary, but as we dig deeper, you'll see it could hold extraordinary value. You may have passed this coin hundreds of times without a second thought, but by the end of this video, you'll understand why this little nickel could be worth a small fortune. The Jefferson nickel has a rich and enduring history, first introduced in 1938 as a replacement for the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin features Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse, and his iconic Monticello estate on the reverse. Over the decades, the Jefferson nickel has become one of the most recognizable and beloved coins in American numismatics. While millions of these coins have circulated, certain years, minting variations, and errors have transformed ordinary nickels into highly sought-after treasures for collectors worldwide. The 1979 Jefferson nickel may seem like a modern coin, but it comes from a fascinating period in U.S. history. The late 1970s were a time of transition, both economically and culturally. Inflation was a concern, the economy was facing shifts, and everyday objects like coins became a reflection of the country's changing times. The Jefferson nickel from 1979 was in the hands of millions of Americans, used in grocery stores, vending machines, and everyday transactions. Yet, despite its widespread circulation, only a fraction of these coins have survived in pristine condition, making those uncirculated coins incredibly valuable for collectors. Now, let's take a closer look at the design and artistry of this coin. On the obverse, we see Thomas Jefferson, whose portrait represents more than just a historical figure. Jefferson symbolizes independence, intelligence, and leadership. Every line in his profile, from the detail in his hair to the careful engraving of his facial features, showcases the craftsmanship of the coin designers. The year 1979 is clearly marked beneath his portrait, an essential detail for collectors who are always on the lookout for rare variations or minting anomalies that could make a coin stand out from the rest. Turning the coin over, we find Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, depicted in elegant detail. This neoclassical architectural masterpiece has become iconic on the nickel, representing both Jefferson's personal legacy and the broader history of the United States. Collectors pay close attention to the preservation of every detail in Monticello, the columns, the dome, and even the surrounding lines and patterns. A coin that retains these details without signs of wear is highly prized and can significantly increase in value, but what makes the 1979 Jefferson nickel particularly intriguing is the potential for minting errors and rare varieties. Even among modern coins, collectors have discovered fascinating anomalies that can turn a seemingly ordinary nickel into a treasure. These can include double dies, off-center strikes, or even subtle variations in the lettering or design. Error coins are like a hidden secret in plain sight, rare, unique, and highly desirable. While millions of standard 1979 nickels exist, only a few of these special variations are in existence, which makes them incredibly valuable to collectors who understand their significance. The condition of the coin is another critical factor. While circulation inevitably leaves marks, scratches, or discoloration, coins that have been preserved in perfect, uncirculated condition are exceedingly rare. The tiniest imperfection can affect value, which is why collectors prize coins that have been carefully stored or kept in protective holders. For this reason, even a coin from as recent as 1979 can command astonishing prices if it meets the standards of rarity and condition that serious numismatists seek. Many people overlook coins from the late 20th century, assuming that only older coins hold significant value. But history has shown time and again that age alone doesn't determine a coin's worth. Rarity, condition, and unique features are often far more important. The 1979 Jefferson nickel exemplifies this perfectly. At first glance, it may seem like just another nickel in your pocket, but with the right combination of preservation and rarity, it can become a numismatic treasure. It's also worth noting that market demand and collector trends play a huge role in determining a coin's value. Auction results and private sales have shown that coins with unique features or flawless condition can fetch extraordinary sums. Modern collectors increasingly recognize the potential value in coins from the late 20th century, particularly those with minting errors or near-perfect preservation. These coins are no longer just pieces of history, they are investments, and they can hold the potential for remarkable financial returns. And now, the moment every collector has been waiting for, the big reveal. If you happen to own a 1979 Jefferson nickel in flawless, uncirculated condition, or better yet, one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a value of $33,600. That's right, $33,600 for a single nickel that most people might overlook as simple pocket change. Imagine discovering one of these coins tucked away in an old collection, a jar of loose change, or even at a local flea market, and realizing that you've been holding a fortune in your hands all along. So, if you have old nickels from 1979, take a closer look. Examine them carefully, check for minting variations, and assess their condition. You could be sitting on a piece of history that is not only valuable but also incredibly rare. Coin collecting is about more than just history and art, it's about discovery, excitement, and sometimes, astonishing financial reward. A single coin, overlooked for decades, could suddenly become the crown jewel of your collection. Today, we're about to dive deep into a coin that has captured the attention of collectors for decades, the United States Jefferson nickel from 1973. You might think it's just another everyday 5-cent coin, but by the end of this video, you'll see why this seemingly ordinary nickel could hold an astonishing value and why every collector dreams of finding one. The Jefferson nickel has a storied history in American numismatics, first introduced in 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, it replaced the Buffalo nickel and has since become one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. The obverse features Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, a founding father whose impact on the country's history is immense. The reverse showcases Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia estate, a symbol of elegance, history, and the architectural brilliance of early America. Over the decades, millions of Jefferson nickels have been minted and circulated, but among these countless coins, certain years and minting variations have transformed ordinary nickels into highly coveted collector's items. The 1973 Jefferson nickel may seem like a modern coin, but it carries significant historical context. The early 1970s were a time of great change and challenge in America, politically, economically, and socially. Inflation and economic shifts influenced daily life, and coins like the Jefferson nickel were part of the fabric of everyday transactions. These coins were carried in wallets, jangled in pockets, and exchanged countless times in grocery stores, vending machines, and public transportation. Despite their widespread use, only a fraction of these coins have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition, which makes well-preserved examples increasingly valuable to collectors. Now let's take a closer look at the design and symbolism of this fascinating coin. On the obverse, Thomas Jefferson's profile dominates the surface. Jefferson is not just a historical figure, he represents vision, leadership, and the enduring principles of American democracy. The attention to detail in his portrait, from the carefully sculpted hair to the contours of his face, is remarkable. Collectors scrutinize each detail, as even minor imperfections, like doubling or misaligned features, can signify a rare variety that is far more valuable than a standard issue. The year 1973 is clearly stamped beneath Jefferson's portrait, and this small detail becomes crucial for collectors searching for high-grade coins or minting anomalies. Turning the coin over, we find Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, rendered in elegant and precise detail. Monticello's symmetrical columns, dome, and architectural lines are more than just decoration, they connect the coin to American history, reflecting the sophistication and influence of Jefferson's legacy. Collectors prize coins where every architectural detail is sharp and fully preserved, as wear, scratches, or corrosion can dramatically reduce the coin's value. For a coin from 1973, finding one in near-perfect condition is increasingly rare, making it a highly desirable addition to any collection point. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1973 Jefferson nickel is the potential for rare minting errors and unique varieties. Even modern coins can harbor hidden surprises. Some coins from this year exhibit double dies, off-center strikes, or subtle design anomalies that occurred during production. These variations are highly sought after because they are essentially one-of-a-kind pieces. For a serious collector, discovering a 1973 Jefferson nickel with such an anomaly is akin to finding a hidden treasure in plain sight, a coin that stands out among millions and can command extraordinary prices. Condition plays an equally crucial role in determining the value of this coin. While circulation inevitably leaves marks, scratches, or discoloration, coins that have been carefully preserved in uncirculated condition are exceedingly rare. Even minor imperfections can significantly impact the market value, which is why collectors often store their coins in protective holders or albums. A 1973 Jefferson nickel that remains flawless is a remarkable find, offering both historical significance and substantial monetary value. Many people overlook coins from the 1970s, assuming that only older coins hold significant worth. But history has repeatedly shown that age alone doesn't dictate value. Rarity, condition, and unique features often play a far greater role. The 1973 Jefferson nickel exemplifies this perfectly. At first glance, it may seem like just another nickel, but under the careful eye of a collector, it has the potential to become a remarkable treasure. This is the thrill of coin collecting, the discovery that even a seemingly ordinary piece of currency can hold extraordinary value. Market trends also play an important part in the value of coins like the 1973 Jefferson nickel. Auction results, collector interest, and the discovery of rare variations can drive prices to levels that most people would find astonishing. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that are rare, uncirculated, or exhibit unique features. These coins are no longer just pocket change, they are investments, historical artifacts, and coveted treasures all in one. And now, the moment every collector has been waiting for, the value reveal. If you happen to own a 1973 Jefferson nickel that is in flawless, uncirculated condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a value of $37,300. That's right, $37,300 for a single nickel that many might dismiss as everyday change. Imagine discovering one of these coins in an old collection, a jar of coins, or a forgotten pocket, and realizing that you've been holding a fortune in your hands all along. So, if you have any Jefferson nickels from 1973, take a closer look. Examine them carefully, assess their condition, and watch for unique minting characteristics. You could be sitting on a coin that is not only historically significant but also extremely valuable. Coin collecting is about more than history, it's about discovery, excitement, and sometimes, extraordinary financial reward. A single coin, overlooked for decades, can suddenly become the centerpiece of your collection. Today, we're diving into a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but holds the potential to be a collector's dream, the United States Jefferson nickel from 1974. This 5-cent coin might have passed through your hands hundreds of times, yet it could be worth an incredible fortune if you know what to look for. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this coin is one of the most sought-after nickels from the 1970s and why collectors are willing to pay big money for it. The Jefferson nickel has a rich and storied history in American numismatics. First introduced in 1938, it replaced the Buffalo nickel and has since become one of the most iconic coins in the United States. Designed by the talented sculptor Felix Schlag, the coin features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his famous Monticello estate on the reverse. Over the decades, millions of Jefferson nickels have been minted and circulated, but only a select few have become true treasures in the eyes of collectors. These rare coins often come from specific years, feature unique minting variations, or have survived in exceptional condition despite decades of circulation. The 1974 Jefferson nickel comes from an interesting period in U.S. history. The early to mid-1970s were marked by economic changes, shifts in the political landscape, and a culture that was evolving rapidly. Inflation, changes in monetary policy, and the everyday use of coins made them not only functional currency but also reflections of the era in which they were used. The 1974 nickel was in the hands of millions, used in grocery stores, vending machines, and daily transactions across the country. While many of these coins were spent and worn over time, only a few have survived in pristine condition, making those uncirculated examples incredibly valuable today. On the obverse side of the 1974 Jefferson nickel, we see Thomas Jefferson, one of America's founding fathers and the nation's third president. His portrait represents vision, leadership, and the principles upon which the United States was built. The details of Jefferson's hair, facial features, and expression are finely crafted, showcasing the artistry that went into designing the coin. Collectors pay close attention to these details, as small imperfections or anomalies can indicate a rare variation or minting error, which can significantly increase the coin's value. The year 1974 is clearly marked beneath Jefferson's portrait, making it easy for collectors to identify and verify authenticity. The reverse of the coin features Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia estate. This neoclassical architectural masterpiece has become a symbol of American history and culture. Every column, dome, and line is meticulously designed, and collectors prize coins that retain every detail without signs of wear or damage. For coins from 1974, finding one with sharp, well-preserved details is increasingly rare, which makes it highly sought after in the world of numismatics. What makes the 1974 Jefferson nickel even more exciting is the possibility of minting errors and unique varieties. Even among modern coins, anomalies like double dies, off-center strikes, or slight variations in design can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a true collector's treasure. These rare coins are considered one-of-a-kind in many ways, as they stand out from the millions of standard nickels minted that year. Collectors actively search for these anomalies because they can dramatically increase a coin's market value and make it a centerpiece of a collection. Condition is another critical factor in determining the value of a Jefferson nickel from 1974. Circulation naturally causes scratches, discoloration, and other marks, which can reduce the coin's value. Coins that have been preserved in mint or uncirculated condition are exceedingly rare and are highly prized by collectors. Even minor imperfections can affect price, which is why coins stored in protective holders, albums, or special collections often command premium prices at auctions and in private sales. Many people assume that only older coins from the 19th or early 20th centuries hold significant value, but the 1974 Jefferson nickel proves that even coins from the modern era can be extraordinarily valuable. Age is only one factor. Rarity, condition, and unique minting features play an equally important role. A coin that looks ordinary in your pocket could be a hidden treasure if it meets the right combination of these factors. This is the thrill of coin collecting, the discovery that even a seemingly simple piece of currency can hold incredible worth. Market trends also influence the value of coins like the 1974 Jefferson nickel. Auction results, private collector sales, and the discovery of rare variations all contribute to skyrocketing prices. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that are rare, well-preserved, or exhibit unique minting characteristics. Modern collectors increasingly recognize that coins like the 1974 Jefferson nickel are not just everyday currency, they are investments, historical artifacts, and treasures all in one. And now, the moment that collectors have been waiting for, the big reveal. If you happen to own a 1974 Jefferson nickel that is in flawless, uncirculated condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a value of $42,000. That's right, $42,000 for a single nickel that many people might overlook as everyday change. Imagine discovering one of these coins tucked away in a jar of coins, an old collection, or even forgotten in a drawer, and realizing that you've been holding a fortune in your hands all along. So, if you have any Jefferson Nickels from 1974, take a closer look. Examine them carefully, check for minting variations, and assess their condition. You could be sitting on a coin that is historically significant, rare, and incredibly valuable. Coin collecting is about more than history, it's about the excitement of discovery, the joy of owning something unique, and sometimes, the incredible financial reward of uncovering a hidden treasure. A single coin, overlooked for decades, can suddenly become the crown jewel of your collection. Today, we're turning our attention to a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but has the potential to astonish anyone who discovers its true value, the United States Jefferson Nickel from 1985. This 5-cent piece may have passed through your hands countless times without a second thought, but by the end of this video, you'll understand why this seemingly everyday coin could be worth an incredible fortune. The Jefferson Nickel has been a cornerstone of American coinage since its introduction in 1938. Designed by the talented sculptor Felix Schlag, it replaced the Buffalo nickel and quickly became one of the most recognizable and enduring coins in the United States. On the obverse, it features Thomas Jefferson, the nation's third president and the author of the Declaration of Independence. The reverse showcases Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia estate, which has become a symbol of both historical significance and architectural beauty. While millions of Jefferson Nickels have been minted and circulated over the decades, certain years, variations, and minting anomalies have transformed ordinary coins into highly prized collectibles. The 1985 Jefferson Nickel comes from a period in U.S. history that may seem relatively recent, but it carries a unique appeal for collectors. The mid-1980s were a time of economic transition, political shifts, and cultural change, and coins from this era reflect both the everyday life of Americans and the precision of modern minting techniques. The 1985 nickel circulated widely, appearing in grocery stores, vending machines, and wallets across the country. Despite this widespread use, only a small fraction of these coins have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition, making these rare examples highly desirable for collectors. Let's take a closer look at the coin's design. On the obverse, Thomas Jefferson's profile is displayed in meticulous detail. Jefferson represents intelligence, leadership, and the enduring values of American democracy. Every line in his face, the contours of his hair, and the fine details in his expression were carefully crafted to reflect his importance in American history. Collectors pay close attention to these details, as even the smallest minting errors or anomalies can dramatically increase a coin's value. The year 1985 is clearly stamped beneath Jefferson's portrait, serving as a crucial identifier for collectors who are searching for high-grade coins or rare variations. Flipping the coin over, we encounter Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia estate, depicted with impressive precision. Every column, dome, and architectural line is designed with care, symbolizing both Jefferson's legacy and the cultural heritage of the United States. For collectors, the preservation of these intricate details is critical. Coins that retain sharp, fully visible features without wear, scratches, or discoloration are far more valuable than those that have seen extensive circulation. A well-preserved 1985 Jefferson nickel is increasingly rare, making it a highly coveted piece for any serious collector. What makes the 1985 Jefferson Nickel especially exciting are the potential minting errors and unique variations that occasionally occur in modern coins. Even in an era of precision minting, mistakes happen. These can include double dies, off-center strikes, or subtle irregularities in the design that make a coin truly one of a kind. Collectors actively seek out these anomalies because they are extremely rare and stand out among millions of standard coins. A single error coin from 1985 can completely transform the value of what might otherwise appear to be an ordinary nickel. Condition plays an equally critical role in determining the worth of this coin. Circulation naturally results in scratches, wear, and discoloration, which can reduce a coin's value. Coins that have been preserved in mint or uncirculated condition are exceptionally rare and highly prized. Even minor imperfections can significantly impact the market price, which is why collectors often store valuable coins in protective holders or albums to maintain their pristine condition. Many people underestimate the value of coins from the 1980s, assuming that only older coins hold significant collector interest. However, age alone does not determine value. Rarity, condition, and unique minting features often carry far more weight in the numismatic world. The 1985 Jefferson nickel is a perfect example of this. At first glance, it may seem like just another nickel, but under the scrutiny of collectors and numismatists, it can be revealed as a hidden treasure. This is the thrill of coin collecting, discovering that a coin that has been overlooked for decades can hold incredible worth. Market trends also play a vital role in determining the coin's value. Auction results, collector demand, and the discovery of rare variations all contribute to driving prices to remarkable levels. Serious collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that are rare, uncirculated, or exhibit unusual minting characteristics. Coins like the 1985 Jefferson nickel are no longer just pieces of everyday currency, they are investments, historical artifacts, and rare treasures all rolled into one. And now, the moment every collector has been waiting for, the big reveal. If you happen to own a 1985 Jefferson nickel that is in flawless, uncirculated condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a value of $36,000. That's right, $36,000 for a single nickel that many might dismiss as ordinary pocket change. Imagine discovering one of these coins tucked away in a jar of coins, an old collection, or even forgotten in a drawer, and realizing that you've been holding a fortune in your hands all along. So, if you have any Jefferson nickels from 1985, take a closer look. Examine them carefully, check for minting variations, and assess their condition. You could be sitting on a coin that is not only historically significant but also extremely valuable. Coin collecting is about more than history, it's about discovery, excitement, and sometimes, the thrill of uncovering a hidden treasure that could change your collection forever. A single coin, overlooked for decades, can suddenly become the crown jewel of your collection. Thank you for joining me on this in-depth exploration of the 1985 Jefferson nickel. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, hidden treasures, and remarkable finds from around the world, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an opportunity to uncover a hidden gem. Keep your eyes open, collectors, you never know when a coin in your pocket could be worth $36,000.